Hi, my name is Greg Robbins with Epek Broadheads, and I'll tell you what, we are really excited to introduce to you the Epek X-C3 new version. Very durable, very accurate, very devastating. Now this is what the broadhead looks like on the end of your arrow, but there's a lot more to the broadhead. This is simply the outer piece. Our broadhead is a very simple mechanic two-piece broadhead. Inside piece fits in the outside piece. And we're just going to assemble this and show you what's involved with our broadhead. Very first thing you need to do, and you might need to do this after you sharpen blades or replace new blades, and that is that you need to line up the inner piece with the outer piece. And it's very simply, on the inner piece you have two set screw holes, and you want to line those up with the slide hole and the practice hole. So you have a left and a right, and once you have those lined up, your blade slots on your outer piece will line up with your blade slots on your inner piece. And then you just simply need to place your blades inside the blade slots. Once you place one blade in there, it makes contact with the magnet. Everything's tightened up, even without screws right now. But we're going to expose our set screw hole. We're going to use the tool that's provided and simply put our set screw. I realize that my thumb's kind of protecting this because it's a 1/8 inch set screw. I sure wish I had my glasses. But once that set screw is placed on our tool, then we're just going to not only insert the set screw at a 90-degree angle to the blade, but we're going to screw until we get resistance and make sure that our set screw clears the outer and the inner piece as they slide together. And then we'll just simply do that 3 times. Set screw hole. Pardon my clumsiness, but you can see that even I can do it. We're just going to advance that set screw until we run into resistance. Make sure that we're clear and advance that just a little bit more. Then we're going to place all 3 set screws. Once we have all 3 set screws, that just simply means that all 3 blades can now rotate. And we're just going to advance our outer piece down onto our inner piece, line up our 4th set screw, which is simply placed in the slot that allows this to shoot with. We have a practice slot that will not move, and a shooting and hunting slot that will allow the 2 pieces to come together. Once that is in there, and we want to make sure that we haven't buried that set screw all the way in so we don't slide over it. You always want to show a couple threads on that particular set screw. Then we're just going to pull forward, place a collar which protects our insert from the blades rotating and impacting, and then we're going to place our O-ring onto our arrow, attach our broadhead, advance our O-ring, and you'll see just tremendous amount of aerodynamic accuracy and a phenomenal amount of blade cutting devastation. That's 1.7 inches of cutting diameter, more than almost anything out on the market. And the fact that we can deliver field point accuracy right where we want to with gigantic and almost obnoxious devastation, we're seeing tremendous results on all sorts of animals. Now we're going to put our broadhead into practice mode, and that's simply done by loosening the set screw in the slot and rotating it over. You might notice that's a difference between the heads that you've been shooting and these new ones. Is we used to actually move take off the outer piece and move it. Now all we're doing is just finding another hole for the practice mode. I want to emphasize that practicing, every shot that you make with the broadhead places force or stress upon something. And so be very wise when you practice, just to verify that it does indeed fly like your field points. And then I'd put them in hunt mode and put them in your quiver and draw back, have the next thing that you draw back be a big old trophy animal. Okay, one thing that we really want to emphasize is to always make sure that your broadheads are in hunt mode before you put them in your quiver and go hunting. If you've been practicing with this and forgot to do that, not good. So make sure that to put it back in hunt mode that you just take out the set screw that's in the practice hole. We don't have to do any rotation, we just rotate the broadhead over with the slot hole. I guess we're going to call that the hunting hole. And now our broadhead is ready to open upon impact.